Some names dazzle from the start. Others sound like they belong on a tax return. But behind every one of these one-name icons or blockbuster stars is a backstory with an original name on the birth certificate. This is episode 2 of 4 in the series You Won't Believe Who These Names Belong To. If you missed the earlier episodes, check the notes for the release dates. But first, let's play a round of You Know the Legend, but do you know the label? Let's start with someone loud, flashy, strange even, in the best possible way. She played classical piano at 4, won school talent shows by 11. By 15, she was getting kicked out of open mic nights for being too theatrical. Raised in a strict Catholic home in New York, she was the kind of girl who wore fishnets to church and called it fashion. By her 20s, she was platinum blonde, strapping wire hangers to her shoulders and arriving at award shows inside giant eggs. Her birth name? Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta. It sounds like the name of a royal bridesmaid in a BBC drama, not someone screaming into a rhinestone microphone. And then she heard Queen's Radio Gaga. The name stuck. So did the fame. She became Lady Gaga, pop icon, art experiment, and headline factory. From pop supernova to a crooner who lit up arenas with a smile. Here's a name that traded a desk job for a rocket ride. Alright, next up. This guy could dance, sing, charm a crowd, and he did all three before he hit kindergarten. He was impersonating Elvis in Honolulu while other kids were still finger painting. He came from a musical family, had a stadium-sized smile, a talent that refused to stay quiet. But his name, Peter Hernandez, he worried it would pin him into a corner office at some accounting firm. So, he fully embraced a nickname that was given to him by his dad, Bruno, after a chubby wrestler he resembled as a baby, and paired it with a last name that sounded like it crash-landed from another planet. Because his name had to do more than sing. It had to defy gravity. Peter Hernandez lifted off. Bruno Mars landed. From smooth moves to raw horsepower, this next name swapped a mild-mannered label for one that roars. Okay, here's the next one. See if you can guess. He had the voice of man who chews gravel, the arms of someone who wins bar fights he didn't start. He worked the door at a New York nightclub. His name? Mark. That's right. Mark Sinclair. Not exactly the kind of name you put on the side of a muscle car. It sounded like a guy who reminds you your library book is overdue. So he built something louder, tougher, combustible, something with torque. Behind the DMV file, he was Mark Sinclair. But on movie posters, he was Vin Diesel. From high-octane action to a comedic spark that lit up stages, this next name turned a playful joke into a showbiz legend. The next name? Total misdirection. Caryn was loud, funny, sharp. Her first nickname came from a Whoopi cushion. She didn't deny it, she doubled down. And then she just added the last name, half joke, half strategy. She thought it looked better in print, maybe even made her sound a little more showbiz. Caryn Elaine Johnson had timing, but Whoopi Goldberg had punchlines. From comedy gold to a mic that rewrote rap history, this next star trimmed his name to sharpen his edge. Ready for a curveball? This one starred on a Canadian high school TV drama. Aubrey played a wheelchair-bound, soft-spoken, and very, very not what the rap world would accept as a character. Neither a name nor a performance history that would be a resume for most rappers to brag about. So he worked hard and trimmed the excess, dropped 2/3 of his name, tightened the message, focused the image. Aubrey Drake Graham stepped away from teen drama. Drake stepped into hip-hop history. From a rap titan to a legend whose flow is smoother than silk. This final name rolled from the streets to the spotlight. Last one, and this one's smooth. His voice drips like molasses. His rhymes roll like smoke. Some quip that Calvin learned to rap in the backseat of a cop car on the way to jail. The streets called him Trouble. His mom? She called him Snoopy. It stuck. Calvin Codozar Broadus Jr. sounded like someone you'd swear into office. But Snoop Dogg? That name had flow. They didn't just change names. They forged identities. Big enough to break the mold, strange enough to be remembered, sharp enough to take control of their story. Sometimes a new name isn't a disguise. It's a destiny waiting to unfold. So, here's an ounce. Reinvention starts with a name. But turning that name into a legend? That takes vision, nerve, and just a little glitter. And that's it. An ounce submitted for your consideration. That was episode 2 of 4 in the Name Change series. In this series, we're meeting the kings of cool, women of mystery, and characters hiding in plain sight. Check the notes for the release dates. So how many did you guess right? Any transformations that caught you off guard? Or deserve a spotlight next time? Have a favorite stage name origin we missed? Or did your uncle once legally change his name to Optimus Prime? Let us know below. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and come back for another story where fame, identity, and imagination collide. Thanks.